River Oak Zoning Commission, time 6:32. If you'll please stand for an invocation, the pledge of the flags.
Bow our heads. Our Father in heaven, we're so grateful that we live in a country that we're able to administer to our own governance. We are proud of this ability that you have bestowed upon us. We pray that as we conduct ourselves in this small committee, that we would do in a manner that would reflect the values that you teach us in your word. We're so grateful for these freedoms that we have. We want to always be mindful of those men and women that protect these freedoms, both at home and abroad. We pray that you would protect them and give them a measure of safety and comfort, that they would be able to come home with their families. Also pray for our military that's here on these grounds that continue to protect us here as well. Our first responders, our firemen, our police, our paramedics, all who keep us safe on a daily basis, we pray for them also, that you would grant them peace and safety and comfort. We ask that you would be with each of us as we go through our daily walks, that we would always be mindful of you and your will, that we would abide by your will and be an example to those around about us. Forgive us of the things that we do wrong. Help us to repent of those. All these things we pray in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, who are we missing this evening? Roll call. Myrick's here.
Claire's out of town. She was gonna be here tonight, but she's out of town.
Oh, looks who's just come in.
Who's out, Marvin?
Huh?
Who's out?
Claire is a new appointee. She
Come
did
on down.
out of town.
Glad to have
And
you.
Don is took his too. He's out of town also.
Why didn't they ask us to go?
Well, I don't know.
Gallman, yeah.
Simpson. Representing Claire is.
Portia, you got it together? Okay. All right. With roll call, we'll move on to approval of minutes, the last meeting in June 16th, 2025. We have the first one, second? Okay, all those, aye, okay. Oath of office, we've
Yeah, we
got a
have-
lot of people this evening that's on that, me included.
Yes, sir. James Myrick, Ruth Antigue, Brad Gallman, and Claire's not here. So, you want me to give it to y'all at once, or you wanna do it individually?
Yeah, let's just have it, huh?
All once?
Yeah, you bet. Double your money, double your fun.
I remember that one.
So you,
And you're
three that are
included.
involved?
Don't think you're getting out of it.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. When I say aye, say your name. I
James Myrick,
do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly
I have not directly
or indirectly
or indirectly
paid,
paid,
offered,
offered,
promised to pay,
promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
or promised to contribute
or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value
any money or thing of value
or promised any public office
promised any public office
or employment
or employment
for the giving or withholding
for the giving or withholding
of a vote at which I was elected,
at the vote at which I was elected,
or
or
as a reward
as a reward
to secure my appointment
to secure my appointment
or confirmation,
or confirmation,
whichever the case may be.
whichever the case may be.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Under penalties of perjury,
Under penalties of perjury,
I declare that I have read
I declare that I have read
the foregoing statement
the foregoing statement,
and that the facts stated therein are true.
and the facts stated therein are true.
Okay, that's the statement. Now for the oath.
Don't put it down there too long.
Get lazy, huh?
I
I, James Myrick,
Ruth Ann Teague.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of the Planning and Zoning
of the office of planning and zoning
of the City of River Oaks
of the city of River Oaks
of the State of
of
Texas,
the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United
and
States
the laws of the United States
and of this state
and of this state
and of this city,
and of this city.
so help me God.
So help me God.
God.
If you would sign as a fine, for both of them, and return it to me. If you want a copy of it, I can get you a copy. Mr. Goldman, Mr. Mark.
Have you turned the live feed on? Somebody
It's just spinning.
just texted. It's not working.
That is it.
And you got a date.
Hello.
Pass them down.
Hello.
Sign.
Yeah, it's spinning on us right now. Yep. Don't know why. You didn't get it to go? No, it just keeps spinning.
It's spinning, saying going live. And if I close out of it.
Can you go out of it and back into it? You can't? I don't think she knows how to do that. Now she's gone. Yeah, she did. Alright. Alright, let me, okay. Can I pause the meeting
Sure.
long enough to see if I can get a hold of Jacob? Alright, bye. I don't think we should go on till the recording is working.
Sure, I understand.
Well, the
We've been
audio
through a couple
is
of years of
recording.
that.
Huh?
The audio is recording.
Yeah, I know, but
You just want me to pause it?
yeah,
642, Bonnie, on the proposed rezoning application as submitted by GeoCat 5461 LLC, being Block 1, Lot 1 in the River Oaks Park Addition, and is otherwise known as being 5641 Taylor Road.
41.
54. 54. And then 5641. You got it. Okay, for rezoning the property with R3, single-family zoning to C2, commercial zoning, that would shall otherwise meet the requirements in section 15C2, commercial district or of the River Oaks zoning ordinance 1394-2023 as amended for additional office space.
Do y'all want to start off, or do you want me to?
I'd love to start off.
Okay.
Thanks, Marvin. My name is Greg Love. How are you guys doing? Thank you.
All right.
Earlier, you told them to turn off the recording. I didn't know if it was important to turn that back on for any purpose.
I turned it on.
Beautiful. By way of a little bit of background, 35-year sexual abuse lawyer, and I used that background education and experience in a business called Ministry Safe. And what we do at Ministry Safe is we design and implement safety systems to protect children from sexual abuse. We serve schools, camps, nonprofits. We've written the Safe Sport program for the United States Olympic Committee. So we're committed to serving especially vulnerable populations and vulnerable adults. And in connection with that, we bought the building right there on 6001 River Oaks Boulevard in 2015. It was a mess. And in addition to that, I mean, we rebuilt the building to make it useful for the type of work that we do. Now, it's important to understand the work that we do. We don't entertain clients. We don't gather people to be able to serve them. Most of our business is providing resources through software and an online system so that people are using our resource all over the world. So we're training about 110,000 people online per month. And so we are the international leader in this space. So interestingly, that's what's happening, right down the road. Now, as it's grown, and you can't pick up the paper and read another headline without hearing about another crisis. And that's what drives the growth of our business, sadly. And so we're needing more space. We have about 50 employees in that space. And so we're looking to create more office space consistent with what we already have in terms of the nature of the business. Again, it's not a taco shop. It's not receiving clients. It's not selling things. It's just creating an office space where people can gather to continue that service that we provide, worldwide. So what's important about why we desire to do that is that we've made a significant investment in that corner of the intersection. We're the ones that bought that property across the street where the car wash was and took it down and fenced it and trying to keep that property. Because the goal is, if we're going to be there, I have a heavily female workforce that I need that workforce to be safe. In addition to that, my mother lives on Red Cardinal. My mother-in-law lives on Red Cardinal. My son-in-law's mother lives on Red Cardinal. My daughter, son, and brand new grandbaby live on Asbury. So we're committed to not only being in that little area, but to make it safe and to make it beautiful. We're even working with TRWD, Tarrant Regional Water District, in making sure that we connected a fence and are leasing property to them to be able to make it more difficult for homeless to live underneath that bridge and go up and back and forth and get your cigarettes and your Big Gulp. So the idea is that we want to create things that are safe and beautiful. We want to keep our employees close by, and so that's the reason why. And we met that family that lives across the street, and we waited forever, worked with her to be able to help her have the time she needed to move out and then try to make that space available to expand our operation. To be able to do that, understanding what some of the requirements are under City of River Oaks, that's one framework. But the goal is, and have the same architects and the builder that helped us to establish the footprint there at 6001 River Oaks. So you can kind of understand, I hate mediocrity, I hate ugly, and I hate unsafe. And so what I've asked them to design is something really, really attractive, but it's also respecting the fact that there's neighbors nearby. And so what we've asked them to do is create significant green screen, to, transition into that space, and also make sure the entry from that space is from Sam Calloway, not from Taylor. So to keep as low of an impact and footprint as possible. So that's the project idea. And I've got some renderings, if you want to see kind of a little snapshot of what's in my mind as to what we'd like to be able to pursue. Now, of course, these are just drawings that, to try to get out of my head into, this is what ultimately would be in that corridor, coming, into the west part of, I don't know if anybody wants any one of these.
She lives there, that's her.
Yeah. But you got another one
Yep.
like this, Yeah. And I don't know that there's a whole lot to talk. I want to be able to be available to answer questions.
Can I ask you a
But it-
question at this point?
Absolutely.
Do you plan on putting a screening fence between the business and the residential that abuts it?
Absolutely, which appears, if you looked on these drawings, it tries to depict that. Like right here would be that barrier, and this is, it's a computer-generated way to depict that, but I would want to make that a significant part of the investment to be able to create that barrier and to make it not just a barrier, but make it attractive.
What did you plan on that barrier being, I guess is what I'm asking.
Probably a 5 to 6 foot wall with heavy planting, or at least to create a planting green screen.
Okay.
I could imagine I know you're familiar with that area. We just bought that little house, 5580 Red Cardinal, and put a metal fence there and lined that metal fence with, 6 foot Nellie R. Stevens holly bushes as the screen. So it'd have been really easy just to build a wood fence, and it'd been really cheap too. But again, we look at that, we live there. So what our intention would be is probably, and this is where I would ask for some help, we're planning on building a really heavy green screen of planting. Not
Okay.
fake plants, not chain link with a little weave through it, but something organic.
Okay.
And it would be a 2-story structure. I think it'd be interesting.
You mentioned 6001. What do y'all have there?
That's that strip shopping center where it used to be,
Yeah.
and that's where our operation is. So we've got people that are developers. We have a criminal background check business that's there. So we have a bunch of analysts that are doing that work for child serving organizations around the country. And we have a full studio in there because we live stream content and we also film content because we are subject matter experts. And the key is to create subject matter content and then have the software to deliver to those people who need it. So that's that. Remember, it used to be a taco shop, a cleaners, and a
It's
hair.
been
Yeah.
it used to be the places that was dishing out natural gas land rights.
I remember I signed my surface rights there, back in 2010, when there was such a thing.
Yeah.
But I think there was also, just the upholstery company just moved out. Okay, so it was a lot of different things. So not only did we take the restaurant out, we paid the money to dig the grease trap up. So it won't be a taco shop again.
So you're operating on what was the old 7-Eleven, is that?
Right, right. And I think you've probably noticed that not only did we repurpose it, but if you went to the backside of it, the backside of it's completely open with decking that takes in, the river, where our employees will be sitting out there at lunchtime and, and some of them access the levee trails to exercise. So it's a really cool building. Stop by and see us.
How many parking spaces are at your current facility?
That's a dang fine question.
45-ish?
Y'all pretty well fill it up from time to time, I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
We are on the edge, which is why we're exploring ways in which to do hybrid remote. We're getting really, really creative in managing our staff.
Are y'all like on call links? I mean, where the people, like robocalls?
No. There is no sales team at my office. We have probably between 2000 and 2015, we couldn't get anybody to take prevention seriously. But after USA Gymnastics, after Boy Scouts of America, and there's hundreds of thousands of other crises we get to see on a day-to-day basis, we don't do any calls. We have a support team for the thousands of organizations that use our Ministry Safe membership. And then there's a secular side called Abuse Prevention Systems, and then there's a side called Protecting Vulnerable Adults. So all of it is by membership that they access, whether it's through your insurance carrier, your denomination, your youth group, and then we just support those people. So no robocalls. That'd be against my religion.
Glad to hear that.
So do you have plans for the old car wash location?
I've got all kinds of plans, but unfortunately, the plan that we had there, my wife and I are pretty jealous for the fact and pretty angry about the fact that Fort Worth has been terrific about building crummy things on waterfront, whether they're parking lots, whether they're parking garages, whether it's the city jail. And so that property, in our view, has a unique use to it, and we just haven't figured out what we wanted that to be. We thought about office space there, and still might, but really wanted to take in what is unique about that property, which is a view over the river and access to the levee trail. We just haven't figured out a plan yet. Because that would probably be a 20,000 square foot building, and I don't have that much of a need yet, or that big a budget for adding staff.
Now, I remember not too long ago, there were residents there that had that river view.
Really?
They were the trees, but
Well, they also had cool sleeping bags that I'm still cleaning up.
What else can be built in the C2 commercial?
C2, I would recommend going with C1 because it's small retail office. C2 opens up other things like we have down the boulevard.
But the request is for C to move to
It's, the
C2.
attorney says you can drop it though to a C1.
Okay, one more time, the difference in those two, please.
One is just office space, small retail. C2 is everything we've got right now on the boulevard.
I think the only reason that we requested C2 was because that was what was directly across the street, so I don't think we have an issue going to C2.
Yeah, C1 is, it's just a more restrictive commercial zoning.
My concern about that was, you may not be the forever owners. And so somebody else may determine they want to sell tacos in there.
Well, then let's by all means go C1.
Just asking questions.
No, it's a good question. That's just I did not know that. So,
That is correct, isn't it?
What?
That project, if we change it to C2,
You mean C1?
now if we change it to C2,
Yeah, then you open up retails like
yeah,
Taco Bell and all that.
thank you.
Any of the other members have any questions for him before we move to the public?
It's still commercial zoning, either one. That's why the attorney said it's not a problem to lower it. It would be a problem to up it though.
Roger. So just want to be available, questions available to the public, answer whatever. So I'll sit down and get out of the way and.
is that mic live? You don't,
I have no idea. I think it is, yes.
It is.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I'll
you.
talk into it next time. How about that?
Thank you. I'll hold you to that.
Would y'all like to ask any questions at this time? This is the time to do it. Yes, sir.
I wanna know about the elevation, that the current house is way up on the hill. Are y'all gonna knock that elevation down any, or will your office be? But I will say, I will tell you that I like the idea of what you're talking about doing, but my concern is the neighbors who have voiced concerns. We can make them happy, but that would be one of my questions, especially if you're going 2 stories up. Is the land itself gonna come down some, or what about the, the elevation of it?
I haven't thought about that, but it would go up.
It looks like you'd have to go up from Sam Calloway to get there,
Mhm.
Or from any direction, so therefore bringing it down. I just asked.
I can certainly explore that. I don't know what's under there, you know, and what that process would look like. But the idea was to go up 2 stories. I think it's a 35-foot maximum under those C1. So.
How,
that-
from the parking lot, what was your plans to get the people that parked in the parking lot on Sam Calloway up to that office?
It would be a climb to get up to those parking spaces
Yeah,
because there's a natural lip right there off Sam Calloway.
yeah.
So I don't know much ways to get around that because that's not my, you know,
I
specialty. But the goal would be, rather than coming in from Taylor, to go ahead and just make it inconvenient for my people to go up, rather than make there be a thoroughfare or some kind of a drive-through that cuts across.
Yeah.
Certainly don't want that either.
No, I understand.
So, I think the height thing is one of the few things that's hard to get past, to be able to get the square footage that we need and have parking spaces. And so doing whatever is necessary to create, using a green screen, but also to try to make something attractive as well. So even if it did reach above that green screen, and there's not gonna be any need, in my opinion, to put a lot of lights, or there's no work on the weekends, lights. Because I had a house once that was near where they put a Lowe's, and it's that ambient light goes a long way. And so there's no noise that's created, you know, out of the use of the space, so it's just trying to be a good neighbor, but yes, the height would be something that we would want to make the building attractive, so that if it was high, it still wouldn't be offensive.
Okay, so you're going next to my house. And the 2-story building, I don't like the thought of, I'm losing my privacy. You could peer into my backyard. I have a small child. I don't want us to be out there playing and people to be able to look in. I like my comfort and my safety and my privacy. You're taking it away from me.
Okay, that's-
You're gonna kill my property value. My driveway is on Sam Calloway. You're gonna cause that to be even harder for me to get out. It's already hard with all the people that you have at your building at 6001. I
Ma'am,
just see so many issues.
ma'am,
Yes.
could you come up and state your residence and stuff? I want you to speak, but
We all want.
we,
I'm at 5637 Taylor Road, so I am right next door to this.
okay.
Your name?
What
My name
your
is
address, ma'am?
5637 Taylor Road, 5637.
30, and your name, please?
Teresa Cryer.
Frank
Teresa Cryer.
Pryor.
Cryer.
Crier like
Crier.
the
Crier.
cried around the street.
Cryer.
Okay, thank you.
My issue with this is I'm going to lose my privacy. I don't want a 2-story building next to me. That's not why I moved here. I have lived here my entire life. My privacy and my safety of my child is so important to me, and I don't care what you do for a living. You're taking away my privacy and my safety of my kid. The parking lot opens up. There's so many homeless people and other things congregating across the street at 7-Eleven at night and yelling and screaming. And you're inviting that in whenever you have another parking lot even closer to my home. I already have to worry about the foot traffic at night. That's why I put up a privacy fence so that I could protect my child. You're taking that away. The privacy of my child is the most important. The safety of my child is the most important. And now there's going to be traffic coming in and out. That worries me. I mean, it's already hard enough for me to back out from Sam Calloway and to pull out because of all the traffic from his business to get to that light. There's so many concerns that I have. Because I'm emotional now, I can't even think of all the questions that I have already had and all the concerns that I have for this. We already have such high traffic going up and down Taylor and up and down Sam Calloway. It's horrible. I mean, I feel so bad for the kids walking because they just speed through there. Everybody speeds through there. And now you're inviting in more people to come work right there where we live. This is a community of families, not business. That's not why any of us moved here and live here and raise our families here.
Teresa?
Yes.
Did you turn in one of those?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Is
See the
hers?
second one?
It's the second one. It's the one I emailed, well, you don't have emails.
Separately.
You have a copy of it though, James?
Yes.
Yes.
We have one turned in.
We have two, hers
We have
and
two.
another one.
Probably my neighbor John, maybe. He's against it too. He's not very mobile, so he couldn't come here.
That's the one that you got.
Oh, no, mine only has one.
Yeah, it was an email to us.
James got two.
We got
Well, that was the last
two
minute.
again.
She has one to turn as well.
Did you have anything else you needed to address us with?
Besides that, I mean, another concern of all of my neighbors is our property values are gonna tank because we're gonna be not in a community setting anymore. We're gonna have a big monstrosity of a building next to us. And families don't wanna move next to a building. They want to move into communities, to have families, and they can have their kids play together, and they can feel safe. And my home being right next to it is gonna take the worst hit. So if I wanna move, I'm gonna be stuck here because I'm not gonna be able to sell it for what it should be worth. Because it's now next to a commercial property. It just doesn't fit. That's all I have.
Okay.
Marvin?
Yes, sir, come on up.
Hi, my name is James Copeland. We live at 5625 Taylor, just a few houses down from here.
Would you say that,
Name?
your address, sir?
5625 Taylor Road.
Taylor.
Yes,
You're on Taylor.
Got it?
Thank you.
all right. I'd always wondered what your business building was down there, and after hearing you, I can really appreciate your vision. You know, it's just that I think a lot of us are really concerned, you know, about our property values going down because of the whole business atmosphere. And I'm a little concerned also because you said you serve abuse victims. Is that what I heard you say?
I serve organizations that serve children to try to reduce the number of abuse victims.
Right, okay. I mean, I don't know what kind of, maybe you just have organizational contact and not the actual contact with the abuse victims?
I represent victims in litigation
Uh-huh.
earlier in my career.
Yeah, but in your business currently?
No, I'm not, I don't counsel nor do I litigate anymore, only
Okay.
prevention.
All right. Well, I was just curious about that because I mean, I appreciate it. I work at a methadone clinic. I'm an addiction counselor. And try as we may, prohibit
Yeah, but they're
certain
all the
kinds of
same.
people just hanging around and homeless just hanging around. It's really hard to keep the people away from those kinds of environments. So I was just concerned about that. But like I said, I think, a lot of us are just really concerned about the property values going down. And I'm not fully understanding. Maybe you have a website I can look at to, kind of get a more clear view of what y'all do. But, that's just our concern.
MinistrySafe.com.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marvin, I've got a question for you.
My wife wants to say something.
I'm seeing,
I'll get to her in just a minute.
I'm seeing 10 places,
I think
10 parking sorry. Well, I'm just seeing 10 parking spaces. How many of these are gonna have to be handicapped?
One,
And
it'll need to be a
van.
van accessible one.
I'm just hearing this elevation issue and, you know, if we have to have handicap parking, we're gonna have to have access into that building to be able to facilitate the handicap parking.
I think the elevation will be as you, here's where the elevation is. All of this will be dead flat.
Yeah, I just don't see any of that on the plan, so.
No, that's just a rough shop drawing of what they're planning to do.
Anything else?
I'd like to address if the commission's open to it. Because I'm sorry,
I just,
Do I have to state my name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Dalila Copeland. Dalila is my name, which is Spanish for Delilah.
Would you, move that? Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
so my concern is that we already have a heavy traffic for, Taylor Road, the back road, because of people going through there to get to the school.
you say on Taylor?
Yes, on Taylor Road. And Sam Calloway is in the back. Well, we already had a vehicle run into our fence. And in the back, through the back. And hit our property. So the traffic gets hectic early in the mornings, and then by 3 o'clock when school is letting out, again, both ways, Sam Calloway and Taylor. So that is one of our concerns also.
Those become cut-through
Yes,
streets,
yes,
don't
they do. They are. And we have children, she's got her child, and there's other people that have children there, but even during the weekend, it's like, we even have these, what do you call those things that, there's children, beware of children, playing out.
Little children.
Yeah, and people, they just zoom through there like they just don't care. They want to go to where they want to go to, and that's it. So that is one of my concerns also. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Johnny?
I gotta go up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you want us to hear you.
If I have to, you have to.
Johnny Claridge, 5355 Baylor Avenue. My question's either to Marvin or you. Is this property going to be a nonprofit? Is it a nonprofit business going to be on this property? So it's a tax-paying, that was my concern. But it says ministries, I'm assuming nonprofit, and then we're replacing a tax-paying house with a non-tax-paying.
You two ladies in front of him, would y'all like to say something?
Oh, come on.
We're here for you.
Yeah, this is your 5 minutes of fame, take it.
My name is Taryn Anthony, and I live on McCarwich Court. So I don't actually live on Sam Calloway, but I live on a street off of Sam Calloway. My biggest concern with adding more business to that area would be the traffic on Sam Calloway. I can't even walk my dog down that street anymore because nobody goes 20. Fort Worth rarely has cops over to monitor their half of the street because River Oaks is only one side. The speed limit's 20. People regularly go 30 or more. There's kids trying to walk home and to school because that is a main cut through to the middle school and high school. There's already no crosswalk at Sam Calloway and River Oaks Boulevard for those kids to get across to get home. And that's a TxDOT issue. That's nothing that he could fix. But it's concerning. So we've lived here for 13 years, and the traffic on that street has increased probably 3 times. And that's really my only concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody, you have something that you'd like to?
I just,
So,
Give us your name, sir.
my name is Trent Prim. I'm the owner of Prim Construction located at 250 Roberts Cutoff.
Trent.
Trent. We own a piece of property that's located between River Oaks and the city of Fort Worth. So half of our building is in the city of River Oaks and the other half is in the city of Fort Worth.
Interesting.
We bought that building in 2013. And I guess what I want to address is some of the concerns about property values, because I get it. I understand that. When we bought that building, it was a building that absolutely was worth nothing. The parking lot hadn't been redone since the building was built in the 50s. We've landscaped around it, we've improved it, we've made it safe. The community around it is much safer for us being there for it. We can't, there's nothing that we can do about the traffic count. We didn't do anything except improve the building. And I think that's what Greg's trying to do here. I'm not speaking on his behalf because I'm his builder. I'm speaking on, I guess, my behalf because I pay taxes in the city of River Oaks. What I want to say is I don't think it's going to kill your property values. It will only add to it. It's beautifying what's there, and what was there was built 50 years ago and will likely become dilapidated over a period of time. So that's what I had to say about that.
Well, you have something.
Yeah, I wanted to, these are real concerns, and I want to think through them as well because I have family in that neighborhood, and I agree with you, nobody goes 20 down that street. And it's frightening, especially when I'm trying to come out of there, and so deep cleansing breath. The traffic, again, I can't do anything about. Now, what I can tell you is, in terms of the safety, I can't slow people down. And I wish there would be some more regulation of people truly watching who's going at what speed down that road. Since I can't do that, what I can do is try to make things safer in other ways. So when we talk about property values, before we got there was that two-story house behind it in the swimming pool that wouldn't hold water, okay? We bought the building, we cleaned it up. Before then, it was a den of homeless people. There was more drug being done. There were prostitutes being run from a truck with all the gutting out of it that sat right there on the corner of Sam Calloway and Red Cardinal. I mean, it's a mess. But we've been committed over the last 10 years to change all of that. So I would commit to you that based upon our presence in the neighborhood, your property values have gone up because we've driven the homeless people away. We're fencing those places they used to hide out and hang out. We're making it more difficult for them to access the 7-Eleven. So in terms of the homeless people, if you're afraid that they're going to come back into a commercial property and gather in my parking lot, you really misunderstand who I am. That's not going to happen. But if it gets to the point where I can't keep them out, much like that property across the street where the car wash was, because I couldn't keep the traffic out by just posting signs, I fenced it. Made a deal with TRWD and connected it to their fence so there is no thoroughfare there anymore. You can go access the levee trail further on up where it's a designated place that you can do that. If there winds up being one homeless people in my place, I find 2 beer bottles in my parking lot, I'll fence the parking lot and make an electronic access. I won't suffer the safety of my people, and I won't suffer anybody living in a parking lot on property that I own. So in terms of the area, I believe that what we've done in the area is improved the property value. We've made it safer. We've pushed away the elements that are difficult, and we intend to continue to do that on both sides of 183. So traffic, there's only a limited amount of things that I can do. The danger factor, I can deal with that, and I will, and I have. I have a track record showing that I can and will do that. The main concern that gets my attention is your desire to know that you're safe, your privacy, your child's privacy. That's important to me too, which is why the instructions that I gave to these people, no windows on that side of the building. There's no view outside of the building moving toward anything that's commercial. If you look closely at those photos, and there really isn't a photo that shows you that side of the building, and if that needs to be baked into the cake in terms of what the commission will approve or not approve, no windows looking over into your property from the first floor or the second floor. There will be no balcony that reaches out that someone can look around the corner into your property. Your privacy is really, really important to me, and I won't do anything to jeopardize that. So the main things that I'm trying to, I want to be a good neighbor. I want to see your property values go up. I want to see a beautification process start in that area, because it really hasn't, but I think it can. And so you see some of the things that we've been investing money in, even on residential properties, to make them better. Nobody's going to pour $400,000 into that property at 5580 Red Cardinal, except for me, because I intend to continue to have my family move into the neighborhood, which is why I care who's hanging out there and drinking beer and doing drugs. I care what trash, you know that piece of land right where all the houses were torn down right on the levee trail? I mow that every week. Because, not because no one's paying me for it, because it's a useful piece of property that just doesn't have to look bad. It can be useful for people to play and sit in those benches and enjoy some of that area. So that's the kind of what we want to continue to bring to the neighborhood, is to improve it, to make it safe, respect your need for no one looking into your property, and be a good neighbor to you. And be one of the neighbors to you that if you said, hey, there's somebody hanging out here, I want you to have me on speed dial, because I'll deal with it. So in terms of the traffic, I'd like to think that my people are respectful. And I don't think that all of the traffic makes it difficult to get out of here. We could close up shop and move out. And I still think that there would be a lot of traffic up and down Sam Calloway. Right, so I just,
But it's the, whenever your parking lot, because like she was saying, from the school, there's so much traffic that cuts through, and then we have people that are in your parking lot jumping out in front of us to cut in line.
okay, well, whether we shut down that business and sold it to somebody else, there will be people parking in that lot. I mean, I can't, there's so much I can change. And what we're talking about right here is a footprint of 10 parking spaces. I mean, you remember there used to be that red truck where the guy would drink his Coors Banquet and then drop the cans out of the window. You know, so it's just like, you got to admit, some of the things that made it uncomfortable right there are starting to go away. And I want to continue to do that. So I want to work with you. I want to hear you. But I just think there's only so many things I can address and deal with, given just the growth of Fort Worth and the amount of traffic and the fact that people are cutting through Taylor. None of my people access our office through Taylor. None of our people leave our office going down Taylor. So I appreciate the challenge, but that's one of the things that I didn't start it, and I don't think anything about what we're trying to propose is going to.
I don't remember us having, do you remember having any issues with a ton of people parking in that parking lot before he came in? In the 6001? There wasn't really much there, so.
Well, it's because it was condemned.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's-
Do you want it to be condemned again?
You have contributed to the press or the, you know, the.
Is your property more valuable with it condemned or not?
I don't care. I'm not
You gotta care.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that it has caused a more of a problem. You can't deny that.
Well, I
And I know. What are you supposed to do? It's a parking lot. I get it. I'm most concerned about my child's safety and privacy.
understand that completely. So,
And I know people, as the property sits right now, people cut through that yard at night.
well, sister, I'll work with you to stop that. Because I don't want that. And I don't think what I'm doing is going to, I mean, I don't encourage it. I mean, I know there's a bunch of riffraff. I wish I could close down the 7-Eleven and give me the opportunity, and I will. Okay? But until then, my goal is to create something beautiful there, respect your privacy, and to stop the traffic. Everywhere where we've moved in, we've pushed the traffic further away.
I would say I'm more open to what he was saying. If you could push it down and have it set down more towards the boulevard, I would be open for that, because then there would be a little bit, kind of a separation. It would show, okay, this property is commercial, but this is still the residential community. If you build it right next to us, then it's like we're all crammed together. But if you could somehow grade that down, that would be much more feasible, I think, for us as a neighborhood.
Okay, well, I'm not opposed to looking at all kinds of things. I just don't know what is and is not feasible. So that, I don't have any other commentary. I just want to be available to answer questions.
Thank you. Close the meeting, and we'll go up to action from the public hearing. Consider approval of recommendation to the city council to rezone the property as submitted by GeoCat 5461 LLC, being Block 1, North 1, in the River Oaks Park Edition, and is otherwise known as being 5641 Taylor Road by rezoning the property from an R3 to single-family zoning to C4,
No.
I mean 2.
If y'all want to recommend it to C1, you can, to the council, and it's up to them. There's also another, when you're talking about wanted added protection, like the neighbors are talking about, there's a zoning called planned commercial, which sets all these guidelines they're talking about. It still allows it to be commercial, but they have to meet those guidelines. It's kind of like we did down on Boston Lane, if y'all remember. That was a planned development. Well, this is the same thing, but it's planned commercial. It's up to you. That way, you set things in place that otherwise they would go by just straight whatever the commercial zoning district is. This one, they have to meet those guidelines. Totally up to y'all. It's just a suggestion to think
Okay.
about.
Let me final out this,
Okay.
so we can get towards it. Zoning that shall otherwise meet the requirements in section 15, C-2 Commercial District of the River Oaks zoning ordinance. 1394-2023 is recommended for additional office space. Zoning case RZ 2025-0005. So, how do y'all feel about it? I think one of the things is I think we definitely need to go to C1 after Marvin explained it. But like Marvin said, it's up to city council whether they want to go towards that.
They're looking for y'all's recommendation, but
Yeah. Just like always, which is good.
Well, I'm kind of tossed here a bit about this. You know, Mr. Love, I fully and wholeheartedly support your efforts and what you do. It's a hard work that you do, and it's a needed work. You know, but I'm looking at, your business sits in Fort Worth, along with your houses. Your property across the boulevard is in Fort Worth, which is an ample space to do whatever you want to do at some point. You have space there to do a lot. And, you currently own this property that you've already purchased at some point in River Oaks, and that's the one piece that you've got in River Oaks. But I'm looking at 3 of our residents here that are adamantly against it. And that's who we represent, is our residents. And as much as I applaud your work, we've got vast opposition against this in their neighborhood. It's our neighborhood, but, they're going to be adversely affected in their minds that, to some degree, it's going to be perception. How much does it affect them? But, I see 3 no's. That's all I see. I don't see any 4s from anybody. Well, I didn't get all that, So, but, I do see people that we represent saying no. And, so that's where I'm torn here of something that is a very good work that You know, yes, it's a for-profit business. We all have for-profit business, or we wouldn't be able to live where we live. You know, we have to have profit. You know, the city's gonna collect taxes on that one piece of property, but you're gonna, you know, you're proposing to improve, and yes, we'll get tax revenue from that. The school will get you regardless. You sit in Castleberry, whether you're on this side of this road or that side of the road. So, you know, and they're gonna get more than we'll get. But, you know, I'm very torn between what, the good that you do and our residents' opposition to it. And that's kind of where I'm torn on this.
And Marvin, how many of these people that come to us tonight lives in Fort Worth?
Well, I think they're all on Taylor Road. They're in River Oaks.
They are in River Oaks. Just wanted to make sure.
You know, years ago, I may look like I was here when this became a city, but I only look that way. I'm really young. Everybody that sits up here, and the mayor, the two council members in the back, have heard this spiel, but they've also lived this spiel. Clearly, the alderman and the councilman, council people later on wanted a community of homeowners, almost to their own detriment, because they did everything they could to not promote business. In my opinion, one reason it was that way, some of you that are old enough remember, you always paid property taxes, but you didn't pay sales taxes many, many years ago. So if you sold something, good for you, but it didn't put any money in the city coffers. Well, those days are gone. So as Brad said, we look at that. That may be a small piece. I admire, I knew exactly when I read, without knowing about your company, because I have so many family members that are voluntary nursery workers and all those. So I know what your company does. Clearly, it's needed. Clearly, there is plenty of harm lingering in the air for youth in this country. But I really struggle, I will tell you that. I struggle eating into the corners of a neighborhood. We've seen that attempted in a couple of other places. I had no struggle at all internally turning those down or being against those. While there will probably be an increase in property values, I think there's more than just the cash there. And I think that's one of the things that's unique about what River Oaks has held the line on. There are other commercial buildings that are available. They're not as close. And so I think it doesn't fit the purpose of what River Oaks is about and why most people move. I think you would find, I think everybody in this room would probably agree with me, there are some people that move to River Oaks because it's the only housing they can afford. And even though houses are very expensive, it's still affordable. There's also a large group of people, many in this room, that live here because they desire to live here, could afford to move other places, but because our trash gets picked up when it's supposed to be, and if you call 911, people show up at your door. If you want to complain, you can. You don't have to make it a bunch of one-minutes. If you're mad enough, you can come up, I guess, and tap on the windows out front and talk to somebody. I just struggle with it. I appreciate everything you do, but I will not be voting for this. I'd be glad to make a motion if somebody else wants to.
I would like to speak to the matter?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't have to ask my permission.
Well, you were just getting to the vote. Sir, my daughter was at my house. She was raised in River Oaks, born here, as was I. And we have a wonderful, strong family tradition. And we're also conservative believers. And she lives in Trophy Club or somewhere out there, almost to Wise County. And she was telling me when she saw what this was today, oh, Mother, that's such a wonderful program. That man, I guess it was you, spoke at our church. She works with children. And of course, we've had horror stories all over. I'm just going to limit it to Texas, Fort Worth, of people in ministry, so on, who have been abusive to children. And she was so thrilled about your services. And she's come to your something and gotten a background check, and you've been working with children for years. But I think my point is you've helped so many churches, organizations, other people who work with children. And that warms my heart, okay? But I also love my town, right? River Oaks. And we are, well, I don't like bedroom community sound, but we were.
I tried not to say that.
Oh,
I hope I didn't.
but, and then I broke it for you, so sorry. But, we are a close, mostly close, warm knit, many of us, conservative, Christian people. And I honor you for what you do. But I think in this case, I wish you'd find another way. I don't want to shut you down or anything, but about going across that street, I wish you'd try to pray and think about another place that you could accomplish your goals. Thank you for being you and what you do.
Thank you. Bill second.
You wanna make the motion again?
I will. I didn't know if, and I apologize. Mr. Chair, I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of River Oaks recommend that the council not approve the application submitted by GeoCat 5461 LLC, being Block 1, Lot 1 in River Oaks Park Edition, and is otherwise known as being 5641 Taylor Road, by rezoning the property from R3 single-family zoning to C2 commercial zoning, that shall otherwise meet the requirements in section 15C-2 commercial district of the River Oaks zoning ordinance number 1394-2023, as amended for additional office space zoning case number 20250005, for the following reasons. We find that by rezoning commercial, that would not meet the purpose of the R3 residential district, and that is to provide compatible uses primarily oriented to low-density residential uses and open space.
Second.
We have a second? All those that say aye? Aye.
before the council on September the 2nd. The council, of course, makes the decision, final decision, but for the council to pass it with a P and Z recommendation against it, it would take a supermajority, which is a 4 vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody want to adjourn?
I move for adjournment.
We have a motion. We have a second.
On the docket.
Do we have a second? Say aye.
Adjourned yet?
Thank you.
How come you're
I'm just getting my leg.
getting ready?
Mr. Gallman, sir, did you get your thing filled out?